Seiko Hall of Fame automatic watches right here, right now. Tabletop review, links below. Buy quick because they do sell out from these reviews. Earlier this summer, I reviewed the Seiko 5 Field Watch, an auto winder. Lots of TMPers bought that watch. It, by the way, is only $55 in Amazon. Links below. Great watch. Field looks thin, reliable, auto winding, no batteries to worry about. Comes in different colors, black, blue, OD, desert tan. Great watch. Sold a lot of those. And to stay in the lineup, that is a Seiko brand, I went hunting for more. And I found two that, man, I just love each of these watches. Definitely going into my HOF playlist. That's on the screen, by the way. So that will hold all these watches that I'm reviewing. I'm working hard to put a lot more WRVs in there. I wish more TMPers like the watch reviews. I'd post them quicker because I've got literally like 50 more watches in testing right now I've got to push through. And I've sold, I don't know, 20, 30, making room for these. It's fun though. I like the workload. It's interesting. And man, are these HOF watches. Both these Seikos. More auto winders, by the way. First up, those are bullet fragments from my 1998 water testing, long before the nutnfancy project. I forget which caliber this is, but casing fragments retrieved from water testing. In the day, I tested 9mm, 25 auto, 380, 40, 45 ACP, 223, 308, and some other calibers, just for my own edification. Gee whiz. Not ballistic gelatin. I was just dinking around through multiple water jugs, and they're kind of cool tabletop decorations. There you go. Oh, also a knife. TMP Spyderco Resilience TMP Blue Cerakote burnt bronze, wearing my sick wicked sharp own edge as I re-edged the HCR13 MOV blade. Skateboard tape there, showing some wear from pocket wear. Makes it look cooler. Patches at Big Cartel website. These were once upon a year. They sold out so quick. I don't know if Doodle's ever going to do any more. He says there's just so much work to do. He takes them all apart. You guys get it. We've talked about it before. On to the watches, though. Now, I could wear either of these watches all day, every day, and be completely happy with my choice. That says a lot, by the way. Think about that. That I will never get tired of it. I won't look at it and go, oh, I don't know about this watch anymore, and peel it off. Do you know what I'm talking about? Have you ever worn a watch like that? You go, at first I really liked it, and then you kind of don't like it anymore. I don't know. Are women that way with shoes? I don't know. Probably. I think we're that way with knives and watches. So I try to be consistent, but sometimes, I don't know, something crops up about the watch that I don't like. I don't see anything cropping up about either of these watches, and I've worn them for months and months now, tested them for months and months, where I won't just totally love them. Here comes the first one. This is the Seiko 5 Sports SRPA05K1. I'm sorry, 05 Kilo 1. I bought it for $185 in Amazon. And man, do I love this watch. It is so cool. What do you like about it, Nutton? Well, first, it looks like a Seiko Monster. It has those Monster looks. I like the Monster. I just don't want to go spend the money on a Monster. And like this watch, I would peel the stainless steel band off anyhow and probably slap either a silicone or a NATO strap on it like I did these. Cool watches, I just don't want to spend the price. So I think with both of these watches, actually, you're getting Seiko Monster looks, definitely Seiko quality. I think an outstanding automatic Seiko movement. Both of them feature the 4R36A 24 jeweled automatic winding movement. Some guys in the watch forums will say, well, you know, that's a good starter movement. You need to really upgrade. And that could be true. But for my purposes, for your purposes, it's perfect. You don't need to go out and spend $500, $1,000 on an auto winding watch to have a really quality movement. Dude said in the summer, by the way, on my field watch review, he said, hey man, I like the auto watches because of EMP. He says, yeah, I won't run a quartz watch, a digital watch, because when EMP breaks out, I want to know the time. I was like thinking, dude, okay, whatever. You're gonna have a lot more problems besides, you know, your watch during that situation. But okay, I know where you're coming from, and you know, I chalked it up to an interesting comment. But here you go, dude. If you're watching this review, here's some very cool watches, so you will know the time after a nuclear war, if that's what you're after, dude. So this is, again, the SRPA05K1, and here comes the second one. I will do a whip sound for this one. Oh, that's cool. This is the Seiko 5 Sports, is what the line is called. SRP745Juliet1. Also amazing. And I did peel the bands off. I got them right here. We'll look at them in depth. And we're going to talk about cool factor, gear transparency right now. And that's really important for us watch guys, isn't it? We want it to look cool. We want it to look good on our wrists. We want it to, I don't know, talk to us, right? I do. And both of these watches do it for me. I'm going to start off with the colors. I hope the camera's capturing them. This is actually a diver orange, and this is kind of a very interesting tangerine yellow, like a light tangerine, and they're both very cool. I love them. I love the orange colorations all along. I've said that. I mean, we got freaking patches in orange. It's right here in the background, you can see. Orange and blue is some of my favorite colorations. That's just the way it is. But it doesn't stop there for me, talking about the coolness. They have a very dive look to them. Are they, as what some watch guys would classify as desk divers, like not really meant for water, but they just have the look? I would say no. I think they really do dive well. Now, I didn't scuba dive with either of these. I don't think. I'll review my footage, but it's hard for me to get to California to do that, and so I can't do it with all the watches. I did swim with it to about 15 feet is all, and of course they're fine. And I think you could dive down to 50 feet with these all day long with no problems, judging from my experience with other watches which are similar. Also a Seiko, and I'll give you a good example. And it's in a bag because it needs to be reviewed. It's the SNE391 Papa one, this one right here. So I dove this one, and it's basically a desk diver rated to only 100 meters. This one's solar powered. It did great. So I know these would do the same thing. They're awesome. They don't have screw down crowns. You know, guys that go, oh, it's got to have a screw down crown if it's a dive watch. Well, dude, you're not going to be diving to 100 feet with your watch. You're going to be using a dive computer, and that's if you actually dive. Guys do it mostly for second cool. They want it to be an authentic dive watch. And if that's you, I'm totally cool with it, but you're going to have to probably spend some more money in the Seiko lineup. Go and get a Monster or any number of other awesome Seiko dive style of watches, or actually real dive watches. These are fine for me, the Seiko 5 Sports lineup. So cool factor for me are their looks. They do have completely different bezels. I'll talk about that briefly. Cool factor does it for me. I'm going to talk about right now the legibility of them. I love the hands and the colors and the markings on each of these watches. So we have kind of a big chevron or triangular hours hand here, just like a Monster. Easy to read minutes hand. And a pure white with luminescence, by the way. We will check that out again. Seconds hand. Love both the hands. Look at this one right here. The 745 Juliet 1. Which, by the way, is a Japanese domestic market only watch. So this one may sell out very quickly from my links. It may be difficult to find. It was never meant to be sold in the United States, this one. And both of these, by the way, are not made in Thailand, not made in China. They are made in Japan, both of them. How cool is that? I dig it. Great hands on this one. They're lined up right now, but it has a big hours hand, big minutes hand, and the identical seconds hand, as you can see. Although this one is outlined in black. This one is pure white. These are actually, they actually to me kind of look translucent, the white, but they're not. Super easy to read. Look at the big old dive markings on this one against that tangerine yellow background. So each one has a big old marking on it with a lot of loom. Perfect minute graduations on the inner scale. Same with this one. So this one has a more slender minutes hand. I don't mind it at all. Very cool. Kind of a three-dimensional look too. Has a deep look. Great logo. Application by Seiko. Seiko 5 Sports on the interior. God, just really good looking watches. Then you have kind of a black chrome bezel on each one. This one has a dive bezel. This one has a 360-degree compass rose bezel. Which one do you like better? Probably this one slightly more, because I do use the timer function on my dive bezels a lot, as you probably do. This is a 60-click bezel. I've heard better clicking bezels before, but it's not bad. Unidirectional, just like a true dive watch should be, even though this is not a true dive watch. It's not ISO certified, in other words. And then you have the 20-minute graduations here, which is the kind of the dive way to do it. This one here has, again, 360 degrees. It's actually bi-directional, so you can turn it either way. And that's for helping you tell direction with your hours hand. And there's a screenshot right there of how you would do that. I never do this, by the way. I don't. I mean, if I need to know the direction, well, I'll use my smartphone. If that's not the case, I'll have a compass with me. But yes, you can use an analog watch if the sun is shining and you can see it to determine direction. Halfway between the two hands is south in the northern hemisphere. Apply daylight savings time correction. And so what this bidirectional bezel would do is just help you kind of know the degrees once you do that. You're going to hold your watch horizontally, by the way, when you do it. I think it's mostly for aesthetic purposes. It just kind of looks different. And it is cool to be different. I mean, not every watch has to have a complete dive, you know, look to it, like a dive bezel. I kind of like how Seiko did that. The looks are amazing to me. Size, lug width, weight, comfort, sweat factor, strap retention, all that stuff that we're going to cover right here. These are bigger than the Seiko 5 automatic watch that I reviewed previously, and I really, really like that. One of the criticisms for me on that watch is that they're too small. I don't like a small analog watch. I've been very consistent with that. You'll see that these measure, and they do wear the same case, 44 millimeters across. Not counting the crown. Right there. That one's a little bit, let me get a good measurement. There we go. 44.5. And then each one is going to be like 13 millimeters in thickness. I don't know if I'm getting, oh, I'm measuring the strap there too. But when I previously measured them, 13 millimeters. So that's a great size. 44 by 13, totally doable. And with these nylon NATO straps, they're only 3.8 ounces. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm wearing some heavy watches these days, and I absolutely love them. Like 5.5 ounces I'm wearing, and I've totally warmed up to them. Not every day, not all the time. Definitely not when hiking. But I do, you know, EDC them. Both of these watches have the same stainless steel bracelet that comes with them. Here it is. Really nice quality. Seiko logo on the push button clasp. Brushed exterior. Solid links, not folded links in the middle. And you can see where you'll take links out, and it gives you some pointers, literally some pointers of where to take the pins out. Watch for not losing those retention collars that are in there. Polished on the exterior. Not completely rounded, I noticed with the Seiko bracelet on the Seiko 5 Sports, but decent. And then in the package here I have the spring bar transitions right here, just so you can see them. Now, by way of admission, I did not wear this strap, or I should say bracelet. I didn't. Why? Because, I don't know, 6.5 ounces of carry weight with this thing, I just was like, oh, at the time. Again, since then, I have been wearing some heavier watches, and I might put these back on. I really might. Definitely a high quality stainless steel bracelet, but dang, dude, when I put the NATO strap on these, 3.8 ounces, that's why. That's the answer if you're wondering. But if you dig it and you think it adds cool points and you like the stainless steel bracelet, dive, look, wear it. Comes with them both. And again, for the price, you're getting a great stainless steel bracelet. Awesome. Sweat factor is very low with the, again, NATO strap, which I bought on Amazon. That's a look what the NATO looks like. And then we're going to look at this case back. It is awesome. Oh my gosh. You can see the rotor, the insignia rotor by Seiko. 316L high polished stainless steel case in both of these Seiko 5 Sports. They really look like full-on dive watches to me. They really do. And notice that. Drilled through lugs. So to take the spring bar out, very simple. Just use, you know, a little tool and you can pop them right out. Very rare we see that with any of these value dive style of watches. Good looking case. And then here's your case back. Check that. Awesome. So you see the 4R36 designation for the automatic movement. Made in Japan, not made in China. Like that. Seiko logo here. The rotor is, it has the insignia as well. I just love it. Clear exhibition case back. 100-meter water resistance, which should be plenty for most people. That is just really a cool watch, man. Now the crown, once again, is not screw-in. So if that's a deal killer for you, yeah, look elsewhere. Lots of great watches out there. And we'll pull this one out. Very quiet in operation too. And I find that when it has a full wind, I'll get about 30 hours out of it before it dies again. Accuracy on the 4R36 movement is okay. I wouldn't say it's phenomenal. I put them on my auto watch winder for like a month and a half, and both of these watches were off by several minutes when I took them off. But welcome to the world of auto watches, right? I've always said that. Quartz, awesome. Have to change the batteries. Auto, you either have to wear it, keep it on your auto winder, or pay the price. That means just rehacking it. Oh, and by the way, notice that it does hack. So this automatic movement at this price point, having hacking and manual winding on both is huge. Yes, manual winding and hackable automatic movement. At this price level, awesome. Now check this out. You see how the dates go into Arabic? That's showing you that it's a JDM watch. Maybe this one was meant for the Arabic market. I really don't know. Yeah, that would make sense. So it's Wednesday, then it goes to Arabic. So I'll rotate this way for date. I really shouldn't do that when it's at 12 o'clock position. Like 9 to 3, you're not supposed to do that. So I find that it's pretty forgiving of that though. So it won't totally break your watch in case you're wondering. Voice of experience. God, I love that color. The hands are just amazing. Bezel's very cool. No clicks on this bezel, by the way. It's just a smooth rotation bezel on the compass rose, as I'm calling it. And same case back and movement on this one. So it's just a dive bezel on that. Cool. Legibility, therefore, is amazing. Let's look at the Loom. I'm going to break out the O-light for this. Would I dive these watches? Absolutely, I would. I totally would dive them. To about 50 feet. I wouldn't take them below 50 feet probably. But guess what? I don't go below that depth anyhow. I don't. This is a Hardlex crystal on this, so it's a step up from a mineral crystal. I am wearing my armor suit protective shield, of which I did make a video. You guys can check that out. Oh, that's cool. So this one has not been exposed to light for a long time other than the reviewing lamp, and you can see how it's shining. Just amazing Loom. I mean, both of them rank 5 out of 5 for legibility, day or night. You can see the seconds hand also has Loom on its tip. This will glow dimly after about 4 hours still. That's how high quality the Loom is that Seiko uses. Some of my favorite value divers, as I would call them. What do you guys think about the NATO strap? Would you run it? Would you run the stainless steel one? I'm thinking most y'all like the stainless steel straps and will just size it to your wrist and call it good from there. get white balance syncing up again. I'm going to take this watch off. I'm running actually an AV8 Flyboy on the wrist right now. That's going to come off, and we're going to put this one on so you can kind of see what it looks like on my wrist, which is kind of on the thin side. I don't have real big wrists, but we'll take a look here. And I'm going to put this 745 Juliet 1 on with the NATO strap. My sprained hand's doing pretty good, thanks for asking, and so is my boo-boo there. My hand got ripped in that tactical shotgunning exercise. Watch for the video. I think maintenance will be like nothing, especially during EMP apparently. There it is on my wrist. Perfect size. I mean, perfect size, polished stainless steel case, and the black and orange look on both of the watches is just totally perfection. Low bang factor, actually. They're only 13 millimeters off the wrist. There's a lot of other divers I've worn that are bigger and more, should I say, bangy. Yeah, and there's no noise, not just in its movement, but just in pulling the information off. Either the day or date, which I think are both adequately readable in both models. Especially this one has a white background. This is, again, the A05K1. Yeah, I got to end the video, man. I'm going too long. I'm just raving about these watches. They're 5 out of 5 for sure. Get them while they're hot. I don't know what year they came out with these. I don't know if they're getting discontinued. If I find ones like it, I'll list those in links as well. But highly recommended. The Seiko 5 Sport Diver watches is what I'm going to call these. And yeah, I would dive with them. They're excellent.